Cool, cool. Yeah, it's a 5-minute countdown, so I'll just give it some time for some people to get in here. And, all right, y'all. So we are live on this beautiful Friday morning, and I'm honored to have a special guest on the show today. Um, I'd like to welcome Forrest from Sistine Research. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for coming on the
Hey, thanks
show.
for having me on. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited to do a little TA, little market discussion. It's lovely to see the market pumping and getting through some of these key levels. So it's exciting, but it's also we got to be careful. This thing could move in either direction, and we just got to be able to react in either way.
Yeah, for sure. So if anybody doesn't know Forrest, he's from Sistine Research, and check out his YouTube channel. He does live streams pretty much every single night, right? Every night.
Every night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. In the last week, I've started taking off like Wednesdays and Thursdays, or no, it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Kind of trying to iron out that schedule, but most nights 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and he does really good analysis. He has his own indicators, which he actually has on the screen right now. And I'm not affiliated in any way, shape, or form with him or his indicators, but I actually uh, have been using them, and they're very cool, especially for the macro time frames. So we were just talking before the stream, basically how we've both been accumulating a lot of altcoins at these lows, and how we've both made some life changing money in the past two market cycles just by keeping things simple, like stacking our altcoins when everyone's freaking out, and then just low key holding them, setting limit orders on the exchange along the way up. Right now my strategy is pretty much I've been I've been stacking altcoins ever since Bitcoin dropped below 20K. I've been like aggressively buying. I hold more crypto on spot right now than I ever have in my life. And besides my long-term hodl, I've got this stuff on exchanges with limit orders set to the moon, bro. I've got some long shot limit orders set there too. So um, you're kind of in the same boat now, right? You're stacking your crypto and shooting for that next bull market.
Yeah, 100%. Right now at this specific moment in the time, I'm a little bit overexposed, a little over allocated towards a couple of low cap projects and NFT projects. Really, one like the D Gods narrative that we're getting as they move over to Ethereum. That's like another discussion. But yeah, I'm pretty exposed to the altcoins, ETH spot positions. And then, jumping in and out on leverage here and there for some swing trades that we can, talk about in just a moment. But we want to take advantage of what is, very, very possibly going to be a bear market rally. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's kind of the first question I had for you. But first of all, shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to share the stream. Make sure to subscribe to Forrest over at Sistine Research. Shout out to Jasic. Shout out to Sherm. Shout out to Bitcoin Liquidity Hunter. God bless all you guys. And yeah, bro. So you know, what is your current analysis with Bitcoin right now? Because I'll be honest, I I don't like the bottom in the sense that we have not come down to any kind of key support. We have not come down to retest the 2019 highs. We just kind of stopped in the middle of nowhere when we're looking at like the weekly. But I'm seeing some things now, potentially even now a higher high on the weekly, where it's making me think we could come up to test 30K or potentially even higher. So, what's your current outlook on Bitcoin? And then I kind of want to talk about your plans um, to kind of like build a portfolio to prepare for the next bull market.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things here. The thing that I want to be very careful of in Bitcoin is we are still quite a ways out from the next halving, and that's really just the easiest way to know when are speculators going to start coming in. The halving's in March of 2024. Me personally, I think we can count on some speculation starting to occur roughly 6 maybe 9 months before then, but we're still a year and we're still like 15 months out. So yes, in the short term, I do think we could pop up and have a bear market rally, but we have plenty of time to put in new lows before we start to see some of that speculation come in. And if you look at last cycle, it was around the same thing where obviously had the COVID crash, but we were starting to see some of that speculation come in, not too far out from, the 6 to 9 months outside of the next halving. So that's really my time frame for when I want to be aggressively bidding spot. Now, in the meantime, I have been accumulating spot at some of these lower levels, particularly in altcoins. One thing that's been a big narrative, and what we have to get out past, in terms of like getting out past the waves in Bitcoin. We've seen so many Bitcoin miners either capitulate or go under, have to sell off a lot of their reserves, declare bankruptcy. So these higher prices, they're looking for opportunities to get back to break even, or dump some Bitcoin up here, and basically extend their runway from a business perspective, right? They need to be able to last. If you're a Bitcoin miner right now, you like, your whole goal is to just survive until February, March of 2024, because you're banking on the fact that you're going to be able to sell Bitcoin at a much higher rate, at a much higher price in the future. So I do think that any rallies that we get are probably going to be sold pretty heavily into by Bitcoin miners, but that doesn't mean we can't go higher. We have broken key market structures. So this purple line, this is an indicator I use and created. It's called the easy bands, but this middle line is really just the 21-week simple moving average. Nothing too fancy about the middle level. Key support and resistance level, you've seen us, get rejected at it multiple times, but now we've broken through it. We've broken through our latest downtrend line. We've broken through the downtrend line previous to this, or I actually think we're retesting this one right now. So that's going to be a key one to get through.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of bear market structure broken, and starting and putting in new highs. So my MO here is I don't want to fight a change in regimes. I look at this, okay, as a swing trader, I'm looking for opportunities to get long, but that doesn't mean that I'm just going to long right up into this resistance. We could take a breakout trade if we really want to, but I'm looking for a pullback onto the 21-week simple moving average, back to this support over here, maybe 18, 19K. Let everyone get real uncomfortable after a large pump. A lot of people FOMOing in here at the top. Let them get shaken out. Then I'm more happy to take a long. And we could break through and continue this rally, and bear market rallies have a tendency to do that, right? Last cycle, we got this big bear market rally, and we just got like tight consolidation, no real big pullbacks to let you get in. And then, people bought the top and it just bled out. So I'm open to the idea that maybe this just leaves everybody behind, but I do think there's going to be some Bitcoin miners here that are looking to sell some Bitcoin into this rally, and any pullbacks we could potentially just look for cleaner trade entries, but in line with a new kind of bullish regime. And then if it proves us wrong and we get stopped out, then we'll just, we lose these levels. We lose, we go back below the downtrend levels, back below the 21-week simple moving average, hold it as resistance. All right, it's right back to shorting. Being able to flip flop depending on what direction the market wants to go.
Right. Yeah, we do have some key resistances just above us. That trend line from the all-time high in November, and then the high we put in March. We're coming right up to test that now, and that's not only is that a trend line, but it's also the 786 fib retracement, and it's also like the value area high of the entire range we've been trading since June. So that's going to be a real key resistance to break out of. I think if we can break out of that 23K zone, 30K for me is definitely on the table. And yeah, I'm also in the same boat, waiting. Like, are we going to get that pullback? Are we going to retest that support resistance flip around like 19K? If we hold that as support, man, that is pretty bullish. But at the same time, like you were saying, Bitcoin doesn't have to give us a pullback. We've seen that a number of times, right? Everyone waits for the pullback, no pullback. Everyone FOMOs at the top, and not a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't, from a trading perspective and swing trading perspective, like maybe it doesn't give us a pullback, but I'm not going to be I don't like buying resistance. No matter how bullish something looks, I'm just like, I'm not going to buy this really tough resistance here. Like, normally, logically, you'd expect a pullback here at, confluent resistance levels. So, if we break through it, make some support on top of it, then, happy to trade the breakout. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe here.
Yeah.
I'm okay sitting on my hand. I think we're talking before the stream. Like, I'm personally not a day trader. I'm more of a swing trader. I'll wait 2 weeks for a trade if I have to. I'll sit on my hands and wait patiently. And if it doesn't manifest, it doesn't manifest. I'm side like if you're sidelined, you're sidelined. You'll never lose money on a trade that you don't take. So there's multiple ways to play it for sure.
That's good non-financial advice. And just for everybody who's coming in now, this is Forrest from Sistine Research. Sistine, that's Sistine. Go check out his YouTube channel. He posts like daily analysis live streams where he's giving trade setups for like a whole bunch of different altcoins. He's got a Discord where he does like real in-depth research on different projects and stuff. Highly recommend you check him out. Um, but yeah, we're just talking about the current state of Bitcoin and stuff. And Forrest, I did want to ask you, man, because we were also talking a little bit before the stream about your plans for the next bull market. So, for me, I am and have been, especially as Bitcoin's under 20K, I've really been stacking my altcoins and looking to, hit new all-time highs, understanding that we could hit more lows, right? But what's your strategy for building a portfolio right now? Because I can say this, for myself, and I'm sure a lot of others can agree. Like the past two bull markets for me have literally I've been able to make life-changing money. First bull market I ever went through, I was able to use that to buy a property. And then the last one I just went through, also could have bought another property if I wanted to. So it's like, but you know, what are you looking at for this next bull run? First of all, do you think we're going to get a bull run? I need to ask you that first because people are saying, look, Bitcoin from its inception, we've been in a bull market just with the traditional markets. And now we're heading into a recession. We've never seen the S&P 500 be in a bear trend while Bitcoin is also in a bear market. So I see you got SPX pulled up here. I want to hear your thoughts on that, and then I want to know about how you're building your portfolio.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, the good news for going into are we ever gonna get another bull market? I think yes. If you just look historically, yeah, we're in a quantitative tightening period of time, but historically, like the market, like the S&P 500 historically goes up, and you just like, yeah, sometimes occasionally you get like a burn decade or a decade of chop, but even within this decade of chop, we had just a really nice bull market from '03 to '07. That's still 4 years, and you could definitely squeeze a 4 year cycle into a move like that in the S&P 500. So I am of the opinion of on the legacy side of things that I've been of the opinion that we get a January, maybe even February, March, like Q1 rally. And there's a lot of analysis behind that reasoning. And I don't want to go down that path, because it'll take us too long to kind of explain why I think the market can pop a little bit here. Again, it's not guaranteed. Like it's definitely like looking to same thing with Bitcoin. Like I want to actually see it break through this resistance before I'm just aping in, but we could certainly see it break down. And I'm actually of the opinion that we do get a hard landing or a recession at some point in 2023. So that's kind of baked into what I'm looking at in terms of crypto too. So yeah, I do think we'll get another bull market in the future. It'll probably, I'm of the opinion maybe we get a little bear market rally here. We'll take some opportunities. We're looking at ETH right here, breaking out on some breaking out above the downtrend line. So a bear market rally does look like it could be in the cards. And a bear market rally, I don't think is going to take us necessarily to new all-time highs in a lot of things. Right, but 2 to 3K Bitcoin. I'm sorry, 2 to 3, maybe 2,500 Ethereum, definitely on the table if we get that rally, right? And then I'm kind of banking on the idea that later in 2023, before the 2024 halving, we get opportunities to retest these lows or maybe even make new lows in some altcoins. But as far as like building a portfolio goes, I do research, like as formerly at Token Metrics, as head of research there, and my job is what was and still is because I'm still doing research to this day is to basically research cryptocurrencies. It's that simple. And I take a very uh, a very supply and demand based approach, and I think tokenomics are extraordinarily important. So if we just go to CoinGecko here and I just search a coin with high uh, had I know a good one, synthetics. It's mooning today. It's up 12.3%. If we take something that historically, right, like right now, we have a circulating supply of 240 million, total max supply of 312 million. Most of this has circulated. Off the top of my head, that looks like 75, maybe 80%. But in the early days, this had like super high token inflation. And that meant that we had a low float, which means like you can pop off in a bull market, but that inflation comes in and people are earning so much through their synthetics, staking rewards or whatever, that it comes down. It comes down really, really hard. So I look for opportunities to invest in things that have really, really good, solid tokenomics. They may either be, have low inflation, maximum supplies. They're not, they're not low circulating supplies. They're mostly circulating. And then I do research on those. Kind of look at the team, look at the potential, the use case, product market fit, all of the above, but mainly looking and isolating for things that have low inflation, because that inflation in a bear market is going to crush you to the downside. But in a bull market, it really helps you push up to the upside. So I kind of have a ranking list of like kind of altcoins that I'm personally looking to accumulate at very low levels. Now, like even on my live stream, people like get freaked out because they have their favorite cryptocurrency and it's not on my list. It doesn't mean that like there's not good cryptocurrencies that are on this list. There's hundreds of cryptocurrencies. Most of them suck. A lot of them are still pretty good. A lot of them are going to perform well from time to time. I can't track hundreds of cryptocurrencies. These are the ones that I've identified as being potentially really, really solid plays for me. And just because something's in the B tier doesn't mean it's bad. Actually, B tier for me is really good. That means it's basically in my top 12 cryptocurrencies. So if something's in B tier, I'm a big fan. And then S tier and A tier are just cryptocurrencies that I really believe have competitive advantages and are going to bounce back to new highs in future market cycles. So really, it's for me, it's a matter of looking for these cryptocurrencies. Remove that, and then just kind of cross-referencing them with when do they become oversold, right? And when they become oversold, and if there's different ways to identify that, I use this indicator as one of my North Stars for that, but it's no indicator is 100% accurate. But I'm looking for opportunities when these are just capitulating, very oversold in relation to where they've been, because I believe, based on my research, that they are going to bounce back to new highs at some point in the future. So yeah, just looking to accumulate these coins in deep bear market, low oversold territory, and which we've already had in many of them. And what I do believe that we could get another capitulation if we get recession in 2023 and have another opportunity to grab some of these lows. So that's I'm big on tokenomics. I'm big on supply and demand. I don't like investing in stuff that has high inflation rates, just because it really comes back to bite you when there's no demand in the market and there's so many people selling.
Nice, man. Yeah, so shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless you all. And make sure to hit that like button, guys. We got about 600 people in here, only 150 likes. Let's see if we can get the likes up to the viewers. And make sure to go subscribe to Forrest at Sistine Research. I just posted in chat. I'm going to put his YouTube link in the pinned comment after this stream goes live. But Sistine Research. And you actually recently just changed your channel name, right? It used to be Crypto Stackers. Now Sistine Research.
I did, yeah.
How come that's the case? Just because you're a research guy?
Yeah, I'm a research guy. That's my goal is to really, really focus in on both market research and fundamental research on the individual crypto projects and cryptocurrency, and just provide that. Crypto Stackers was a great name. I really liked it. It was a community-based name, but at the same time, it was kind of seen as maybe less professional, maybe a little more influencery, which of no no issues with you know, being seen as an influencer or being an influencer. But I just wanted to kind of brand it a little bit more professionally, in a way that people would have, you know, more um, confidence in the brand and in the research that I'm putting out, and really just focus on really high quality research.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a little bit of a rebrand, kind of a tough decision to make, but I think it's been for the best.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that is one thing I appreciate about your channel. You're like no nonsense kind of guy. You've got you combine the fundamentals with the technicals, which is really nice because I'm pretty much purely a technical trader. I don't really spend the time to research projects like you do, and of course, you know, I myself am a very sensational YouTuber. Open mouth thumbnails, everything, Pikachu hats. You know, that's my thing. But you know, you keep it super
I love it.
professional,
I love
bro.
it.
So I appreciate that.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's uh it's tough to stand out and get views on YouTube. And no, it's YouTube is a cross between like informational and entertainment. And if you can do both of those things really well, you just you end up blowing up. And I think that's, you know, being entertaining uh is difficult. It's not an easy thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, YouTubers have such an easy job. Oh, being like, take it from me, from a pretty boring guy. Being entertaining is tough. It is tough.
Yeah, man. I definitely appreciate your work here, and I am sorry to everybody if we're having some issues with the screen, but I did want to. I guess I wanted to ask you another question. Speaking of you doing fundamental research and all that kind of stuff, for the next 2 years, you know, crypto specifically, do you see the next bull run taking us to all-time highs? Like, do you see $100,000 Bitcoin? Because I know a lot of people are saying the next bull run is not going to be like the previous two bull runs where we see these insane percentage gains, but more likely maybe Bitcoin will just range. Like we might come up to 60K again and then come back down and just kind of range for a while as things become more stable. What's your like 2 year outlook right now on these markets?
Yeah. So, um, eh, people get upset with me because I know there's a lot of, like, you know, Bitcoin maxis out there. Look, I'm all about trying to make money. I think Bitcoin will do well in the future, but I do think that we're kind of in a space where the space is really innovating and creating use cases around smart contract networks like Ethereum, like, you know, layer. And everyone's like always talking about, well, Ethereum's more centralized, Solana's too centralized, Avalanche is too centralized. At the end of the day, like, yeah, Bitcoin's gotten some institutional adoption, but there's also like a ton of institutional interest around some of these more centralized chains. And that's just the truth of it. And you have, you know, you got NFTs, you got blockchain gaming, you got all these different use cases coming in that are being built on stuff that isn't Bitcoin. So, you know, while I do think Bitcoin is, you know, will probably remain number one for the foreseeable future, I do think in the future Ethereum will likely flip it at some point, maybe. I'm more of, you know, in line with that thesis, just based on, you know, the innovation we're seeing and where people are coming in. It really just depends on Bitcoin's adoption. So, like for Bitcoin to really go on to new all-time highs, what I think needs to happen is we need to move from institutional adoption, which we got last cycle, and we had PayPal and we had Tesla and we'll always have MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor's not going anywhere, but it's kind of been, you know, rough. There's still been a really large drawdown in Bitcoin. And if you're an institution trying to put it on your balance sheet, you got to be aware of that. And it almost makes more sense for an institution to put it on their balance sheet in a bear market and sell it when it goes up in a bull market cycle. So is that something that you necessarily want to take on as an institution? What I think needs to happen for Bitcoin to come up to new levels, we need to start seeing countries, not just El Salvador, but like actual countries start to come in as adopters. Because at the end of the day, you can boil everything down this is like a term that like I don't like using for crypto because it's not this, but it to some degree every tradable asset is in some way a Ponzi, in the sense that like you need more people to come in and buy in order for price to go up, right? So the early adopters get in at lower prices, and then you need people to continue to buy behind them. Again, in the strictest definition, it's not a Ponzi, but it helps people like kind of understand what I'm trying to get at. You need bigger fish to keep coming in. You need to feed the Ponzi. You need more money to keep coming in. If no money comes into Bitcoin, it just can't go up in price just magically. Like you need people to buy Bitcoin at higher and higher and higher prices in order for it to go up. This is like just simple how markets work. Well, who's left in the market to buy Bitcoin? Because we've seen a lot of retail adoption, and there will be more retail adoption. We've seen some institutional adoption, and there will be more institutional adoption. And we've seen El Salvador, but that's just a super small country. We need to see big countries start to come in. So I'm actually not against the idea that next market cycle we see what would potentially end up being a triple top. And I think we need to be very aware of that potential scenario where maybe we come up somewhere in this region and we don't break through 60 or 70,000. And we get a pullback, and it's the following market cycle or another market cycle or 2 years after that before we end up breaking through. The kind of base case, I think 100K is probably a fine target, anywhere between. And I know people are going to spit out the 200, 300K targets for Bitcoin next market cycle, and maybe we do get that. Maybe we do. I mean, that would certainly be a really nice return, 5 or 6x off of, or well over that to 2 or 300K, 13, 14, 15x from our lows. But part of me wonders if the days of 10x, 15x, 20x from the bottom for Bitcoin are over. Are you still going to be able to get a 20x out of one of the largest assets in the world? Bitcoin is a very, very large asset at this point. When you compare it to like, stocks and yeah, you can compare it to gold or whatever. But if you compare it to stocks and large companies, it is a very large asset. It's much larger than most companies. So are you going to be able to get a 15 to 20x out of it from the lows? Maybe, but I'd be more inclined to think that, that it's probably going to be a 4 to 5x and will be somewhere in the 70 to 100K region. Personally, that's my thought.
I'm thinking of 5 to 7x myself on it. That's kind of what I'm counting on, but maybe I should be more conservative and say 4 to 5.
Yeah, I guess a lot of it depends on how low we go, right? A 7x so if we go down to 10K, a 7x from 10K, that's only 70K, that's only, coming back to our previous high. So no, I'm right there with you. Maybe 5 to 10x, we'll say.
Yeah. I definitely hold more Bitcoin on spot now than I ever have in my life. And I've still got some super low ball bids, down there to scoop some up in case of a scam wick or whatever. But, so yeah, we seem to have kind of a similar view on Bitcoin. I like to think that we're going to hit that 100K target just because, 100K, that's the number everyone had in their minds for so long. So I'm still holding on, smoking that hopium. But, probably and definitely the real gains are going to be made in, I guess, smaller cap assets that really just take off in the next cycle. So are there any specific ones that you're specifically looking at that you feel like sharing with everyone here? What specific maybe lower cap altcoins are you looking at to make some crazy, gains like 20x, 50x, 100x, 1000x?
Yeah. So the one that I'm in right now, let me go to this link right here. I can spun up a little dashboard on my website to track it. Now, I want to be super clear. I took a very large position in like at the time as microcap. The $15 to $30 million market cap. Right now, it's at a $54 million market cap. This is my largest bag by far, which seems a little bit degen, but I published a 24-page research report on this ecosystem in particular, and I'm very confident in this particular play. So I want to be super clear that I have a very large position in this, and the risk at buying at $1.64 is obviously considerably higher than what my risk was buying between 30 and 50 cents. So I'm not condoning that anybody apes into this, but I do have high targets for it, and I'll kind of share that analysis, the base of that analysis with you and with the stream here. So you have an
Forrest,
NFT
before you get
project
into that,
called.
let me just say, everyone,
Yeah.
make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to subscribe to Forrest on YouTube because he's giving away the juice right here for free. So make sure to appreciate, show the love, man. All right, bro.
This is the juice, guys. All right. So you have an NFT project called DGods. They were the number one NFT project on Solana for like the last year and a half. They've just dominated Solana. They're just number one by trade volume, number one by market cap. They're basically the Bored Ape Yacht Club of Solana. But Solana is a much smaller chain. Like if we just go to CoinGecko here and we compare the market caps, Solana's obviously been suffering quite a lot. It's bounced back to number 11 here, but it's 11 billion fully diluted, 11.4 fully diluted. And it has significantly less trade volume. I believe it's like at any given time 5 to 10x less trade volume than Ethereum. Ethereum's a much larger chain. There's way more trade volume in NFTs, way more money floating around. It's a frothier space, $187.5 billion market cap here. Now, the way that DGods is structured is actually very similar to that of Bored Ape Yacht Club. They have a main collection called DGods. They have a secondary collection called Utes, which is similar to like Mutant Ape Yacht Club. They have something called Tubes, which is kind of like a third collection or whatever. But if you take the total market cap of all of these NFT assets in their ecosystem and you compare it to their token asset, which is similar to ApeCoin in some regards, or in many regards, Dust trades at a 0.3%, or I'm sorry, a 0.3x multiple of that total NFT market cap. Whereas ApeCoin is valued at a 3x multiple of its ecosystem's NFT market cap, fully diluted. In non-fully diluted, it's over a 1-to-1, right? So if this normalizes, and on top of this, like I didn't mention this, but this project is moving from Solana to Ethereum, where there's way more trade volume. And it's expected that the NFTs and the token are probably going to appreciate because a lot of Ethereum NFT collector whales are coming in. If this normalizes to trade in line or even at a 1-to-1 ratio with the NFT market cap, then we would expect like a 3x from where it's at right now, and potentially a 10x, or maybe a 9.2x if I think we want to be exact, which would be $16. It'd be 16 bucks. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. When this was at a $15 to $30 million market cap, this multiple was 0.15 versus 3.15. So the risk here was considerably lower, and the thesis has been playing out. And we're starting to see this really run. Whether it will continue, I cannot guarantee. I don't know if this is, a good risk. My targets are still considerably higher, but I don't want to encourage people to just ape into a very low cap coin. But I say that because that is my pick right now. That is the kind of the horse that I've been riding for the last couple of weeks, and I've been very aggressive in that. Now there's some kind of larger to mid caps. Oh, go ahead.
No, I've heard a lot of people talk about Dust recently and how
it's definitely moving, but like I said, I mean, look, from its kind of recent low, I mean, we kind of discount the capitulation off of FTX, but off of our support levels here, it's up 400%. So it's like you're buying somebody else's 5x if you're buying right now,
right?
So be careful. It's more of a fundamental play than a technical play. I do think that there's potentially another 2, 3, 4, 5x, but it's certainly riskier than getting in down here at the accumulation zone. But there's some other coins that I like. I mean, obviously long term, these aren't going to make you more than a 10x, more than likely. I could see in a best case scenario type market where we get another frothy bull market, another alt season. Maybe ETH goes to 15K. But it's not my base case. In the short term, if we get a rally, we're looking at maybe 2 to 2.5K. In a next market cycle, in a nice rally, maybe we go up and tackle all time highs. Maybe we go 6, 7, 8K. Probably not going to give you a more than a 5 to 10x on some of these large caps. Chainlink, I think, is a really, really solid infrastructure play in crypto.
Yeah.
It's had a massive bull market. Going all the way back to 2019 before the real bull market kicked off for the rest of crypto. And it's just been sitting here consolidating. And Chainlink is a core infrastructure play for decentralized data in the crypto space, and they don't have a lot of competitors, and they're way ahead of all of their competitors. So I like it from a fundamental perspective, and it's been sitting in this consolidation range for a long period of time. I don't think it's a bad buy right now. It's there's some risk that we come down, but from a long-term perspective, I think Chainlink is a safe play in that it's very likely to bounce back in future cycles. I'm a fan of Matic, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, Matic's centralized, Matic's not the best technology. The thesis for Matic is just they're onboarding enterprises. They're onboarding some of the biggest brands in the world, and that's just going to continue to add to their network effect. So they've got partnerships with Nike, Disney, Starbucks, et cetera. And I think they're going to be continuing to do that for quite a while. Big fan of QNT, really based off of their tokenomics are pretty it's like over 90% circulating supply, but we're kind of in a space where I don't want it at fair market value. I want it down here. So, if this dropped to like $60 to $80, I'd be looking to have bids in down here. I just dropped I think it was 18-page report on Arweave. So I'm a big fan of Arweave right now. Again, it's kind of sitting at this 21-week simple moving average. I'd rather it come back down into this kind of demand zone, this demand pocket. Maybe between $5 and we'll call it $8 is a little bit more attractive than what we're currently at, just under $9. But I think Arweave will do well in the long term. And you can kind of see my list here. A lot of people hate Cardano. And I could care less about Cardano from a technical perspective. But if we go to altcoin dominance, I do want to show people this chart. If I can get it pulled up here. Where's Cardano? This is the dominance chart. This is how it basically performs against the rest of the market in terms of market share. In a bull market, it just eats up market share like nothing. Cardano outperforms everything in a bull market as far as like large caps go. It just does. But in a bear market, it underperforms everything. So this is not the price chart. This is the dominance chart. This is the market share. How's it performing against the rest of the market? And it looks very similar to the price chart because in a bull market, it just crushes everything. It'll do 100x plus off of the bottom. Or at least it did last cycle. But in a bear market, this is a retail heavy coin. A lot of retail leaves in the bear market, and it's not something you want to just be bag holding, in my opinion, in a bear market. But once it's already down, once Cardano's already down, 93%, starts to become more attractive to accumulate for the next cycle up, because you would expect that retail is going to pile back into Cardano and push this thing considerably higher. So, there's certain coins that follow kind of different patterns, different strategies. That's kind of my Cardano strategy, but it's just going to depend on which currency we're looking at, which coin we're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big hodler of Cardano myself. Been since
A lot of it catches a lot of hate, but nothing outperforms it in the bull market. It just like it crushes it. That's insane. 175x.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. That's crazy. As far as I'm sitting here right now sniffing this empty can of Zevia cream soda. Do you ever sniff empty soda cans? I just have to know, or am I the only one?
I don't think I've ever sniffed an empty soda can. I feel like maybe, you know what? Maybe I have, but it's not a normal thing for me.
Yeah.
Is cream soda pretty good?
It's pretty good, man. It's sweetened with stevia, so it's they say it's healthier, but who knows? Who knows? I don't really know what's in this.
You're a fit guy, so I was shocked at first when you said cream soda, but that makes sense if it's sugar free.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, cool, man. I mean, I really appreciate your analysis here. And everybody, if anybody new is coming in here, first of all, make sure to like the stream. We got like 650 people in here, only 270 likes. Let's uh let's show some love to Forrest from Sistine Research. Um, Make sure to go subscribe to his channel, guys, because the kind of stuff he's sharing here, he shares that every single day over on his channel, and definitely some valuable information, especially for people who are not sitting there like myself and others, day trading and stuff to eke out, profits every like 0.5% move. This is like the big picture kind of stuff here, and definitely valuable information because either there's going to be another bull run or there's not, and if there is, there's opportunity to make life-changing money on some of these assets. And now is the time to start thinking about building portfolio. Now is the time to be researching projects, not during the bull market when everything's already at all-time highs and that's when everyone finds out about it. That's when you should be selling. But now is where we should be looking to accumulate. So, Forrest, man, are there any other things you want to say? Any other things you want to talk about? Any other analysis here? Looks like we did. New York did open about 15 minutes ago, and Bitcoin is getting a little move to the upside right now.
Very nice.
I mean, I'm looking at the 10-minute chart here, so that's
Yeah. I'm looking at the daily here, and look, I mean, from a daily perspective, I do think we could break down or break up, and that's really what I'm just looking at. Super, like nothing fancy here for me. I got a green trend line on the top. I got a red trend line on the bottom.
yeah.
Got the 21-week simple moving average cutting through the middle. And, base case is that we probably chop around here until I believe it's February 1st. We get that rate hike decision from the Fed. I think 25 basis points is baked in. I think it's what the market's priced in, but we got some unemployment data yesterday where there's unemployment's better than what we thought it is, which is kind of giving the Fed more room to potentially hike again, or hike at a larger rate. But I don't think 50 basis points is very likely. So maybe we get that 25 basis points, and that's what can help us push through the top of this. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's really what I'm looking at. I'm looking at just some consolidation, some compression here, and then look for a breakout on either side, and just be flexible to play it in either direction. I'm not too biased in either way on legacy markets at the moment.
I do say I was leaning much more bearish on the S&P 500, and I was expecting to move down to like around like 37-ish, like that 3750 zone, and we just kind of front ran that. I'm a little bit surprised to see how well we're holding here. I was expecting a little bit lower here. So yeah,
There's. Oh, go ahead.
it would not surprise me to break that trend line because everybody I know, not everybody I know, but a lot of people I know and a lot of people who trade traditional markets were saying I'm shorting 4,000 and then that's it. Like I'm holding it for like new lows. And I'm talking like people who work for banks and like are like legitimate investors were saying things like that. And now here we are, we got the rejection from 4,000 and now we put in a higher high. I'm sorry, a higher low. And it's like, what's going to happen here? Are we going to break that trend line? That, in my opinion, would lead to the relief rally for crypto that I personally am hoping for, where we do see like a, $2,000 ETH, 2,500, 28K Bitcoin, 30K ish. That would be really nice for the short term.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, that are down in this bear market and had a rough 2022. It would just be such a great opportunity if the S&P 500 could poke its head back above this trend line, maybe pop up to 4,300, as crazy as that sounds. And that would give, crypto people an opportunity to kind of de-risk and take profits at 28, 30K, and then just have some capital set aside for if we do come back down into the scenario of making new lows, or recession in 2023. So yeah, short term, I'm worried about a recession. So short term, any rallies, I'm looking to be a seller into. I'm not going to fade the rally. I'll jump into the rally, but when we get to those key resistance levels, like 28, 30K Bitcoin, I want to take profits there, and I want to lock in some capital moving into the end of the year or mid year even.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's kind of similar to my outlook right now, and I am hoping for that relief. I'll be honest. I've been leaning bullish for a while, and maybe irresponsibly so. But in the back of my mind, everybody's been super bearish. Everybody was expecting the lower low Q1 of 2023 for crypto and for Bitcoin, um, and for S&P 500 as well. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like some shorts need to get destroyed right now and punished for their bearish
Yeah, I
bias.
mean, at the end of the day, it's like, getting, Solana's such a good example of this. Is like, this is what happens when everybody gets so greedy. Like, it's no different. It's just like we could invert the chart and look at it's like it's no different than trying to long at $200 for Solana. Like, if you're trying to short at $8 or even $12 for Solana, what is anyone doing here kind of like trying to short the $8 for Solana? You're gonna get wrecked. Solana, is bad as things have been for Solana. It was, it's a top right now. It's a top 11 ranked cryptocurrency. It's fairly solid. It's down 97%. Man, like, how much lower do people really want this thing to go? And the shorts have gotten squeezed horribly. This has just done a full mean reversion here to the 21-week simple moving average, and there's definitely something to be said for people getting a little too trigger happy with their shorts and getting squeezed out, and then we go down, and then we the shorts get punished, and then it kind of opens up, resets the market, resets the leverage in the space, and
Yeah.
then we go down to new lows. So yeah, 100% with you there.
My grandfather always told me to buy low and sell high, Forrest. So I try and take that advice.
Look, that's a pretty solid strategy, I hear. You do the opposite. You buy high and sell low. You can only do that for so long before you're out of money.
Yeah, that's true. It'll work once, but then you'll lose it all slowly
Yeah,
and steadily.
exactly.
Um, cool, man. Well, I really do appreciate you coming on the channel, bro. I was honestly surprised that you agreed to come on. I really appreciate your insights. I appreciate the work that you do. Make sure everybody to like this video, go like Forrest channel and subscribe to all his videos. And yeah, bro, do you have anything else you want to say before we end the stream?
No, first of all, just I genuinely appreciate you having me on the stream. It's an honor and a pleasure. Yeah, I love doing this stuff, and hope to collaborate in the future. Have you on my channel and kind of swap back and forth. So looking forward to that. And guys, look, these markets. If anything, I guess some parting words and non-financial advice would be: look. The best traders that I know are willing to flip flop in either direction. And maybe you biased in one direction, biased in the other direction. But as soon as your thesis is proved wrong, be willing to flip flop a little bit, right? If we break out here and we break some bearish structure and we turn a little bit bullish, there's gonna be some opportunities to the upside. And at the same time, if we break down here, then there's gonna be opportunities to get in and short and de-risk, and just be willing to be flexible. And I'm actually pretty decently big on diversification into 2023. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market, so being a little bit more diversified than you normally would be may not be the worst idea in the world. So just keep that in mind. Of course, not financial advice, but I genuinely appreciate you bringing me on your channel. It's a pleasure.
Awesome, man. All right, everyone. Well, God bless you all, and have a great weekend. And I'll see everybody in the next stream. Peace.